is there some math / correct way to set up adjustable Watts link solid rear? Yeah, so what Jesse's asking there is about a Watts linkage, which is a style of axle location that you get with a solid rear axle, as in a beam axle, something you get in maybe like an old school car, something like an A86 or something like that. From factory, a lot of those cars have something what's called a panhard rod, which is essentially just a constant rod, a one single rod that goes from one position on the live axle up to some point on the chassis, and that's what's giving the lateral location of that whole rear axle. Now, the downside of a panhard rod is that you always get some the axle only really goes through one direction because it's all going through an arc. It means that for a bump, the axle will go to one side, and for droop, the axle will tend to move to the other side of the car. A Watts linkage gets rid of some of that by keeping the axle in the center line. Now, when you've asked about the right way to set up a Watts link there, so assuming it's been designed properly in the first place, and the two probably biggest metrics there when it comes to a Watts linkage is that you want the both Watts linkages to both arms to be equal length, and you also want their angle to be equal as well. The idea behind that is as the axle goes up and down, as long as their angles and lengths are the same and that they're rotating on that center portion of the diff, or alternatively on the chassis depending on the setup, then the axle is going to stay in the center line of the car. So obviously you want to center this thing in the center of the car to start with, but then after that it's just a case of having all of your linkages set at the right angles and lengths, and then that's really all there is to it, for getting a Watts linkage to be set up properly. Obviously, if you're doing things like roll center changes and stuff, there's more stuff you can change there, but just from the sort of baseline of getting the Watts linkage set up properly, that's all you need to do to start with. That question was taken from one of our free live lessons. If you like free stuff and you want to expand your knowledge, click the link in the description to claim your free spot to our next live lesson. You'll learn about optimizing the performance and handling of your car on the racetrack, as well as improving your skills behind the wheel. Plus, you'll have the chance to ask your own questions, which we'll be answering live.